What's up? What's up? What's up? You know, what's up, Panther Nation? This is your boy, Amazing Ace. Big brother, Amazing Ace, and I'm representing the Carolina FratHouse Podcast, where Southern wit meets gridiron grit. Uh, you know, you know, Away for a while during Thanksgiving season, but the FratHouse Podcast is back, and we're gonna be changing up some things. And main thing is we're back in action, and you're gonna be seeing a whole lot of new content and a whole lot of nice things coming in the very near future. But just wanted to put out a video, just going over that before I drop future videos these next 2 weeks. The Carolina Panthers, we got a bye week next week, so we got a lot of free time, a lot of good, a little bit of free time, and we're gonna be taking advantage of that free time. So, Frat House Podcast, we're gonna take advantage of that free time. I'm gonna tell you about what we got upcoming soon, but before we get in that, let's just do a quick review of the past 2 weeks. You haven't heard from us since week 11. So first, I want to start with the 49ers loss. That game was real frustrating. Right, that game was real frustrating because that was a winnable game. Okay, the Panthers lost 29. We had three turnovers. Uh, that we gained. I should say the 49ers had three turnovers, and we lost the game. We lost the game. Our offense just looked out of sync, horrible. We uh, we only came away with 3 points from the three turnovers. Our offense couldn't do anything. I think we had less than 100 yards after the first half. It was just a very bad game offensively, and I honestly put that game more on Canales than Bryce Young in the offense. Canales had a terrible game plan. Uh, and one thing I took from that game was Canales seems to lean into really wanting a gunslinger passer at quarterback. And we do not have that. Okay, we do not have not in the traditional way. So Dave Canales seems like he would really have liked Jay Cutler at quarterback. Maybe Rex Grossman, maybe Brett Favre. Just Jake the home Carolina version, just one of those type of quarterbacks. And you know, uh, he needs to stay focused on what we have. So that game, it's in the past. We took a loss that we could have won, and at that time we were 6-6, and then comes week 13 against the Rams. Everyone has us pitted to lose, and we come out and upset the Rams. I don't know how the Panthers do it, but we can compete with everything, with every team. Dave Canales said it best. You haven't seen the best Panthers football yet. So great win against the Rams, and just a couple things I want to note against the Rams. Chuba Hubbard, him and Rico over 150 yards rushing. Chuba had an excellent game. The offense, Bryce Young had three passing touchdowns, two of them on fourth down. Big, just big passes to Jalen Coker and T Mac. Jalen Coker had an excellent game, highest PFF grade, and just looked, you know, uh, I hope we keep Jalen Coker as number two wide receiver. It seems like what we need to do is T Mac wide receiver one, Jalen Coker wide receiver two, and Xavier Leggett at wide receiver three. And you subbing my man from Florida, Jimmy Horn Jr. And that's our rotation at wide receiver. We need to keep that rotation. And the offense, it just seemed like we actually kept with the game plan, running the ball. We run the ball 30 plus times. We're gonna stick with the run, and we pass when necessary, and that needs to be our game plan. So I really hope during the bye week that Canales sticks with that plan because we're losing games and we're making games harder than it should be. So just something to note, something to take watch of. Um, and another thing for the defense, had another solid performance. 3 turnovers for Matt Stafford. This defense is doing a whole lot better than a lot of Panther fans expected. Shout out to Avero. Ransom did pretty decent stepping in for Morig. One thing we might have to pay attention in the future. It seems like Ransom, very good young energetic player, but seems like his position is Morig position, strong safety. So I don't think Ransom is going to be a free safety for us. So I wonder how we're going to get him on the field with Morig, because Morig has been a pretty good safety for us, and we signed him to a big contract this past free agency. Um, that's just something to look out forward to. But you know, defense, Derek Brown. I think ever since the Saints game, man, Derek Brown has been sort of neutralized by teams, but he came big. He batted the ball for an interception and then got the sack, strip sack to win us the game. Uh, to at least give us the ball to win the game. Shout out to Derek Brown. And Mike Jackson, man. Mike Jackson stepped in for J.C. Horn. So we had a lot of players step up, man. A lot of players stepped up. We had like some injuries with Corey Thornton out, J.C. Horn, and just a whole lot of injuries. But the defense stepped up, and that's what you want to see from the team. So shout out to the defense, man. You know, um, the main thing I take from the win is before this game, I was worried that this was very similar to Matt Rule team, where after his second season we just lost 6 games straight, and we didn't fire him after that when we should have, and then he tanked our his third season. He only made it like I think about 5 6 games before we had to fire him. Uh, I'm pretty sure Dave Canales is not Matt Rulish. Okay, I think Dave Canales, for all his faults, is a pretty good coach. And I think he has us in the right path. And I think Bryce showed that, okay, maybe uh, he has opportunity, to start next season. Maybe we should, be fine with keeping him as a starter. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But you know, I think they made a lot of fans happy. And me personally, the way I look at it, I don't think you pick up Bryce's fifth just yet. But I don't necessarily think you have to bring in a backup to start over him next season. I don't think you have to do that. Now, do I think we should draft a quarterback next season? Yes, I think we should do that. But I'll get into that. In one of the future videos, what we should do as of now, what we should do in the off season. But 49ers lost, Rams when we're half a game out from first place in NFC South. We got 2 games against the Buccaneers coming up in these last 4 games. Man, this is perfect position. This is a whole lot better than fans were expecting at the very beginning of the season. So 7-6. Okay, we escaped the mean. 7-6 is pretty good for us. I think 7-6 is pretty good, and we just beat top team in the NFC. So the main thing I want us to focus on during the bye week, See, I have Jay-Z's sixth album. That means the blueprint. Okay, we have the blueprint to play and compete, and we need to stick to that blueprint. All right, running the ball. Okay, passing. Passing when necessary, and then making being clutch when we do pass. Bryce Young is clutch with those pass plays. But defense and running the ball, hard nosed football, cardiac cat style. Need to get, do that, you know. Before I do think Rico needs a little bit more carries, but hey, Chuba had a hell of a game. Keep running the ball. We seem like we did a better job with splitting carries between both of them. You know, hey, we get some guys healthy. Keep playing like that. Hey, that's how we need to play. We got the blueprint. Okay, it does not take 7 years like Jay Z. And I hate, that was such a dumbass analogy. Maru should have been fired right after he made that shit. Um, it does not take 7 years to build up a program. Okay, Dave Canales is doing it year two. Him and Dan Morgan. And like I said, this past draft was the first draft in a long time that I really liked a Carolina Panthers draft after it's over. Every draft, especially the past 5 years, I've been like, this doesn't seem like I feel like we picked players. I was like, I don't feel good after that draft. So speaking of draft, uh, one of the projects we have planned coming up this upcoming week, I want to go over two drafts, a really terrible draft, just to go over like how do we find ourselves in a position like not having a winning season since 2017. We're going to focus on the 2016 NFL draft. If you know, that's the one right after Super Bowl. I call it the Vernon Butler NFL draft. We're gonna focus, do a deep dive into that draft ex, and really just go over why that draft sucks so much. That was a horrible Carolina Panther draft, and then we're going to do a really good draft, surprisingly good draft. All right, I'm not going to spoil that one, but you have to stay tuned to a future video for that one. But we're going to do both of those videos this upcoming week, or maybe yeah, we'll knock both of them out this upcoming week. And if you can, man, just like and subscribe, man. I'm building up this channel from the ground up. I'm going to be putting together videos, start doing a little bit more editing, better editing, but like and subscribe. We're gonna build this thing up, and we're gonna try to have some guests. My man, the Frozen Panther, Big Brother Jay. He's gonna probably join me for a lot of those videos. We're gonna try to bring in some of the Panther Riot, Capital Riot. That's the DC Riot group. Um, the Roaring Riot personnel. We're gonna try to bring in some guests and really put together a enjoyable watch video, and even just maybe collab with some other Carolina Panthers podcasters, and just have a whole lot of great stuff planned. But I just want to put out this video just to go over these past two win games. Everyone's is high on the Rams win, which we should be, man. Keep pounding 7-6 going into bye week. Win, you know, if the Buccaneers lose this upcoming week, we're first place in the division. It's wild as stink, man. But we have the blueprint, man. I think if we could just focus on that blueprint, we can compete better and show some more consistency with the rest of our games. Not just looking terrible one game and then looking good the next game. And yeah, man. So that's it, man. So just wanted to do a quick video. We're gonna stay tuned. I think the first video I'm gonna drop off is the 2016 NFL draft video, and then we're just gonna stay alert throughout the week. Let's see what we figure out. I know Adam Thielen was released, but I don't think we should reach back out to him. I think we got a good little core at wide receiver, and I don't think we need to mess that up trying to bring in Adam Thielen. So yeah, man. So Panther Nation, shout out. Like I said, like and subscribe, and just stay tuned, man. Stay tuned. Got some great videos coming up, and here at Carolina Boys Frat House Podcast, we're gonna keep things thorough. So just want to put that out there. All right, guys, stay safe. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. You know, I just had a good one. Just celebrate my daughter's birthday. It was just a wonderful week. So, but I'm back at it. So, all right, guys, stay tuned